Hello, we're part of Lightspeed Networking Solutions, and we're here to present our networking proposal for your company, Secure Medical Solutions. Our team consists of me, Sasha, and Muthakrishnan, the Chief Executive Officer, Rishit Varal, the Chief Technology Officer, Dhruv Chana, our Chief Information Security Officer, and Anish Nalakanda, who's our company treasurer. LNS is a Texas-based networking firm that aims to provide affordable and reliable solutions for our clients through our consistent customer support and our minimization of costs.
Our goal at LNS is to provide a quality examination of the existing infrastructure of your company and devise a proposed solution that uses protocols such as Cisco security features and routers and IPsec to secure VPN tunnels.
First, we'll address the IP addressing scheme. An ISP provider will supply high bandwidth connectivity, which we'll use to secure WAN connections via IPsec tunnels and route to the internet. Internally, we'll use the IPv4, but for externally, we'll use the addresses converted with the NAT/PAT translation. The range of IP addresses will be accordingly divided based on site, department, and host to simplify management of departments and reduce packet collision.
For each worksite, we will assign a number that will occupy the second octet of each IP address, allowing network administrators and IT staff to easily identify which branch of the data originates from. Each department will also be assigned a VLAN number to better identify the source of traffic. For example, the HR department would receive an ID of 11, while the IT department would receive an ID of 3. By doing this, we can better organize and track the incoming and outgoing data. As time goes on, our networking solution will have support for IPv6. This will allow for greater expandability in the future.
At the Minnesota headquarters, we will install a Cisco 4461 router and 348 port Cisco 9200 switches, both of which support 10 gigabit Ethernet connections, which will provide more than adequate bandwidth to accommodate your needs.
The switches provide a gigabit Ethernet connection to desktop clients, as well as 4 10 gigabit trunk ports for connecting with other switches and routers. We will have 3 switches running with 4 spares for all sites in the event a switch malfunctions. Alongside these devices, there will also be a Windows Server 2016 machine running System Center Configuration Manager with DNS, DHCP, SNMP, and other management software such as Cacti and MRTG. Active Directory and Cisco ISC are included.
The auxiliary branches will receive the same 48 switches as the main branch of the Cisco 4331 router. We will also install 3 high bandwidth wireless access points for premium guest Wi-Fi and internal usage for tablets, allowing secure medical solutions to have a greater expansion for their suite of services. The auxiliary branches will all run the same firewall as the main site. Because the client requested the use of tablet technology, each of the satellite offices will have 40 Apple iPads, as well as 5 to 8 port charging stations that can be distributed throughout the offices where they are most needed. LNS's proposed solution allows for IT staff to centrally manage all devices through a machine learning Windows Server 2016 based in Minnesota. For this implementation, we will use SCCM. With SCCM, software updates can be deployed remotely to all devices across the entire organization autonomously, increasing the efficiency of the IT staff because they won't need to manually configure and update devices. SCCM also allows for patch testing before releasing a full deployment to clients. SCCM also has compatibility with a wide variety of BIOS releases and OSs from Windows to Linux and mobile OSs.
Pertaining to end-user authentication, the ADDS role will be added to the IT management server. Active Directory allows network administrators to enforce Minnesota's security policies and centralize user accounts, while also granting permissions to use network resources. The main protocol used in the authentication process with Active Directory is Kerberos. For the employee fingerprint sensors, we went for BioKey, which has support for Windows Hello authentication and integrates seamlessly with Active Directory, centralizing all login information. Active Directory will also handle end-user authorization and manage NTFS permissions. The NTFS permissions will be applied to certain departments or individual users, meaning that they will not have to be authorized to access the resources. For example, a sales team member would not have access to local resources in an accounting employee's computer. Active Directory can record all events that took place on a server by a certain user, up from changes to user profiles to power cycles.
LNS uses RRD to collect and manage data. Cacti can be used with existing IT staff, existing devices, and incoming hardware to internally manage and diagnose the network by providing graphical representations of network logs, data throughput, and more. For our solution, we decided to integrate SNMP v3, which provides security by encrypting packets and has a number of other vital network management features used to organize information about clients on the one network. SPAN will be used in order to allow IT management staff to view data flow throughout your network and help manage the network without any third-party intervention. For the internal service desk, we'll use Zendesk Software Suite as its best suited and designed for employee service ticketing. For our WAN connections, Spectrum Business or FirstLight will be used. System logs will also be viewed to keep track of events. Syslogs will be configured on routers and servers in order to send diagnostic information to the IT management server, sending high priority messages and debug logs to IT staff. We'll also train IT staff to prevent against dangerous social engineering attacks.
The routers installed support IPsec encryption for secure connection between sites. The IPsec tunnels will be configured in a hub and spoke topology with the primary hub in Minnesota and an auxiliary site as backup in case Minnesota's site goes down. IPsec tunnels and VPN links to the internet are scalable and can grow and expand to accommodate new branches. Since other approaches such as EPLs would be extremely costly and impractical, IPsec is the best solution in order to maintain fast and secure connections between sites. IPsec relies on several underlying protocols to ensure site-to-site connectivity, including IKE, AH, and ESP.
For virtualization, we chose to use Microsoft Windows Server's remote desktop session feature, which comes standard in all Windows Server 2016 installations and allows for virtual clients to be created on demand. It's scalable, so you can add additional servers in the future if desired. Employees will be able to access the virtual client from their PC using Windows Remote Desktop Connection software, which comes built into Windows devices.
As part of our defense in-depth design, we will be implementing security measures at the switch in case physical security is compromised. If an attacker wanted to, they could plug a switch into one of the open ports and theoretically lower the bridge priority of their switch and win the root election, lowering performance and compromising data. Cisco BPDU Guard prevents attacks such as these by automatically disabling ports if BPDUs are received. For our antivirus solution, we will implement Sophos Endpoint, which includes heuristic-based scanning, which detects malware-like behavior, making it more effective against new viruses which may not have been fully implemented into traditional antivirus software. Our training team will teach all of your staff how to effectively spot social engineering scams that try to gain access in employee systems. Each employee will be given different random pins, which will be used when IT services need to reset an account or modify settings in person. We will also provide your IT staff with a training course and the security essentials so that they can uphold security standards at the highest level possible.
One thing that we like to stress the most is keeping all of our network systems redundant. For example, we use RAID 1 mirroring, which replicates data to at least 2 disks in case the main disk fails. By doing this, every single piece of data will be safely stored. Similarly, we'll also use IT servers at multiple sites, which allow for multiple backups of patient data to be safely stored. Complementing this, we're going to implement multi-homing WAN connections, which will make sure that there will always be copies of data being spread throughout the different sites. We also have extra battery generators for a general safety purpose.
The file server includes SSDs running RAID 1 for redundancy, meaning that data can be recovered. However, RAID is not a full backup solution, so we will also be using Office 365 for employees to save important files and use TFTP in order to save switch and router configurations to the IT management servers.
We will be using a Cisco 4000 series router with IPsec tunneling with hardware-based encryption. For our network switch, we'll be using a Cisco SG350X switch with 10 gigabit uplinks and 10 gigabit downlinks. Our IT services server will include DNS, DHCP, and SCCM. Furthermore, we will use laptops instead of traditional desktops to provide mobility and the ease of access to your employees. As for our service level agreement, we'll be using cold spares instead of hot spares to ensure that data is manually brought up after a component failure. This provides an extra layer of security. Additionally, we'll ensure a 99.99% ISP uptime to provide maximum efficiency. Any internal issues will be handled by the already present IT staff. Finally, we have a 24-hour response period for any questions and overall support. For continued support, we will ensure a future partnership for your network and related needs. In addition, we will employ a 5-year solution with an extra 2-year option for technology support and continued yearly staff training. Our expansion solution will include revamping for additional auxiliary sites, lower price gear, and buying items in bulk. This will allow your business to expand with guaranteed support in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we done?